Hi everyone, welcome back to Stag Voiceover. My name is Neil Glasgow. So in today's video, what I want to talk about is voiceover as a career. Can you make it, essentially? Can you make it your career, more importantly? And the reason I wanted to make this video is I've been contacted a couple of times this weekend, pretty much on the same day, by two different people who are trying to start up in voiceover. You know, they've been doing it for a little while now, getting to grips with all the things that voiceover brings, you know, booth, DAWs, microphones, all that sort of stuff. And for separate reasons, they kind of had the wind taken out of their sails. There was a thread going through a Reddit page called Voice Acting. Check it out. You may be on that channel now when you're watching this. And it essentially said about all the hardships, really, and the difficulties that come with being in voiceover. And I think the person who posted this had been in voiceover for about 10 years, or 12 years, if I remember the thread properly. And essentially there was a piece in this bit that took the wind out of the sails that said, voiceover's kind of going to be your side hustle, your part-time job. It's something that you do that you can earn some money on the side, but to make it your career is really difficult. And these people contacted me to say, look, is this real? Is this a reality? Is this what I can expect? Because, you know, I want to make VO, voice acting, my career. And this kind of makes me feel like I can't. So I gave them my opinion on this, and I'm going to give you my opinion on this, of what you need to do and where that really needs to go. So with all of that in mind, let's get into it. Now, looking back at all the stuff that I've done, I would say that the industry, really around 2019, was in a really nice place. You know, there was, for myself, established clients, there was work coming through, lots and lots of stuff. You know, I felt very happy in my voiceover career. Been banging away at it for a long time now. But then 2020 happened. And the world fell off a goddamn cliff, to be honest. And particularly all of, you know, marketing agencies and theatre companies and game designers and all, the world was not ready for this, okay? Fine. We all know what happened. And I have said to a lot of people, especially during 2020, that 2020 was never a better time to start getting into voiceover for a very particular reason. It gave you time to develop your craft. Learn all the things, do all the bits, be ready for when things kick off again, for when the world starts opening up again, which it has started to do now. However, I know from my own client base, lots of industries, lots of organisations went under, they're still on pause, you know, things are getting back to a state. Now, I'm telling you this because this is someone who's established, okay? If you're watching this channel, chances are, I've said this before, you're just starting out. And to make your career in VO, the reality of it, it is one of those jobs that I would say you need to make it your side hustle until you can make it your career. Now, what does that look like and what are those thresholds? So here are a couple of things that I suggested to these people and that I would suggest to you as well. You need to make sure that you have a client base. Now, if you're just on the websites, the pay-to-play websites, the Voices, the Fiverr, etc., you're not going to do it, right? You're not going to have a client base because that's every time it's a free-for-all and you have to try and, you know, compete to get that. You want to be working directly with lots and lots and lots of different organizations all around the world, right? People who do IVF, people who do translations, localizations, IVF, IVR. You want people to do, text-to-speech, commercials, adverts, radio, whatever it is. You need to reach out to anyone who can use your voice and start building your business. That's the key word in this. It's your business, right? If you think of any other business, food cart, for a very weird example just popping into my head. You have to be in the right location, you have to have a really good product, you have to have people coming to you and word of mouth and social media and blah, blah, blah. You need to have customers, right? And as a voiceover, as a voice actor, it's no different. You need to do the hustling to build your business and to build your brand. Whether you do that through social media, marketing companies, emails, I don't care. As long as you can say to yourself, I have a regular, steady, forecastable pipeline of work coming through. That's your big criteria there. Can you pay your bills every month and live a life that you want to do? Or are you currently, or are you even considering living audition to audition? Now, believe me, I've done it. Believe me, it's not fun. I could go days not earning a penny, and then I'd do one day and I'd earn enough for a month. That wasn't regular, but it was so boom and bust. Really don't recommend it. I continued working through all of this. Rather, when I started, it was the recession, right? So when I started trying to get into voiceover, it was 2008, 2009. I tried acting, or rather, I finished theatre school, and I was trying to get into all the theatre. They weren't doing anything. I started working in sales and recruitment and, selling advertising space and for wedding magazines. It was, not a fun job, but I did what I needed to do until I could make a career out of doing this. And the reason I'm telling you this is 2020 kicked me in the goddamn teeth. I was still able to pay my bills. I still, had a lifestyle. Wasn't the lifestyle that I had built over those times. So you need to make sure that you've got that safety nest, really, when you're getting into this. And this is not to put you off getting into voiceover by any means, because I've said, 2020, 2021 was never a better time to get in. It's also, very contradictorily, almost the worst time ever to get into voiceover. And the reason behind that is everyone else watching this channel that isn't you. The marketplace right now is absolutely flooded. Just is. The opportunities are kind of down here, and the people looking for work is kind of up here. There's so many people going for every single job that comes up. And again, when you're doing that as an audition process, you're really going to struggle to be able to get to that point. So if you genuinely want to make this a career for yourself, this is going to be your income, nothing else. You need to figure out how to run a business. You need to take a business management course. You need to take out some marketing lessons of how you're going to get your stuff out there. You need to have this all set up properly. I don't care if you're working out of a wardrobe right now. It has to be the best it can possibly be. That's what your clients are buying. I managed to survive where established studios didn't because I have this booth. It's at home. I didn't need to go to studios to do my work over the pandemic. Now, hopefully we'll never be in that situation again, but the amount of people that I know didn't survive COVID from a business perspective because they didn't have a studio at home. This is where it's at now. And knowing your DAW and knowing how to create, edit, master all of your own audio is in so much more demand now from at least the clients that I work with, because they say, look, we've got this thing, can we just send it to you? Yeah, I'll record and I'll do all that and I'll send it off. And, they really like that because I've got that professional capability. That's something that you need to bring to the table. So if you, like I say, want to make this your career, voice, this element, I've said it before, that's like the last 20%. You need to get all the other stuff done first. It's the only way, in my opinion, you're ever going to make it as a success in your job. You need to do your marketing as often and to as many organisations and individuals as you possibly can. You need to understand how to, budget and finance your income that is coming in so that, when you have those tight times, it can stretch. You need to understand how to pay your taxes, and whether you have an accountant, you need to understand where you pay your taxes, EU, India, America. I do a lot of things all over the world. I didn't know any of that when I started. And I, through lots and lots of mistakes, have got to that point. But this job is not a hobbyist job. If you want to do it as a hobby, you crack on, do it as a hobby. You don't need to worry about it. If you want a career out of this and making 6 figures, you need to make it a career. You need to really do the doing. And I'm sorry, this is a bit of more of a sobering video than I tend to do, but that's just the reality. And if you can't face up to that now and put a plan together now to do that, don't spend your money. Don't spend your time. Don't waste your time. There's a lot of second-hand microphones and booths that are on the market, and it's because people didn't really consider what this whole thing costs, what the whole thing is. So yeah, that's the video. That's the advice for this week. Yeah. Maybe next video will be a little bit more uplifting, but this one, it felt like it needed a bit of a reality check. If you've liked my grim reality check, drop me a like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because it really does help the channel out. And remember, if you put the effort in, you really can be a voiceover artist. I'll see you in the next video.